production is brought to you by DHBN, WTHC Radio, and Stoner Records.
Good evening to the Thursday edition of the Stoner Sports Report. I am Scott. To my right is Skunky. And first off, a shout out to Kelly. Hey, Kelly. Thanks for
Kelly
tuning in. Yes, Kelly Collins. How are you doing, Skunky?
I'm doing great, man. How about you?
Good. This is I'm very happy. I've come back to work and things seem to be going good. This is my third day back at work, so it feels good to be contributing to society again.
Right on, dude. Yeah.
And now we get to get stoned and talk sports. It doesn't get any better than that. So
Kelly Collins wants to know how you are feeling.
Well, Kelly, I would tell you I'm actually feeling pretty good. I seem to be past the pain part of it. Basically, what I'm dealing with is it's like my face. If this makes any sense, my face is still in shock. So it's like I wake up in the morning and I go, I know what's wrong with the right side of my face. So it's the only thing I'm really like suffering with, if that's kind of even too strong, is the fact that it's uncomfortable. And by the end of the day, I don't see as well because I have this thing over my right eye, so I'm trying to focus. And by the time the day gets along the day, it's harder to see. But besides that, I got to tell you, I'm doing great. I'm cancer free. I can't be more thankful. I can't be more grateful. God is good. Because here I am, and it was only 3 weeks ago, and I'm feeling pretty good. So yes, Kelly, I'm doing good. Thank you for that. All right, and now on a less serious note, what's going on in sports, Skunky?
Not much. What do you want to talk about?
How about this? Now, how I told you about Caitlin Clark, they put her in the 3-point contest for the All-Star game. I'm excited about that. This is crazy, by the way. The last game she played, anybody who follows basketball, she had 19 assists. 19. Steph Curry averages 9 to 10, I believe it is. I think the most he's ever had is maybe 21, 22, something like that. 19 assists. Because you know that means you got to be doing something right, because you don't get an assist if they don't make the basket. It has to be 19 times, that she passed and she scored a basket. So
right.
I'm just impressed because she's learning that as a rookie, she's not going to be the star of the show. So she needs to contribute in all ways, whether it be passing the ball, playing defense, and so I'm just happy for that. I think I'm impressed with the WNBA because they literally have increased their fan base in the last 10 years. I mean, substantially. Out of all the female sports, it's the most. Well, not true. I think it's the second most watched female. I think the most is the UFC. A lot of people like me, I like to watch the women fight. They seem to strike. They seem to stand up longer than the men do. You notice that?
Yeah, because they can't knock each other out.
So they're just swinging and stuff, and I like that.
Well, yeah, they just can't, dude. You watch it. They don't knock each other out like the men do.
No, that's true.
Right.
So, I don't know. I mean, what else? I mean, I know that's really unfortunate. There's not even much. Nobody big got signed since yesterday.
Wait a minute.
Did somebody help me out?
In what? Yes. The Arizona Cardinals signed their final draft pick, running back Trey Benson to his 4-year rookie contract. I didn't see a money amount anywhere, so I don't know what he got. But
I heard of Trey Benson. I'm trying to remember what college he played for. But did you notice that obviously this is a trend now? Every rookie we're talking about seems to get a 4-year deal with an option for the 5th.
Right. That must be the standard rookie contract, I would guess.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah.
Well, we have today is date wise is the 18th, so we have what 9 days till the Olympics, right? 27th. Is that when it?
26th, I believe. The other day, the Jets did the same, signed all their rookies. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Raiders, I think, are one away, and they did the same. I guess every guy gets a 4-year rookie deal,
Yeah.
and sometimes if it's not a lot, I think that's why they don't mention how much the money is. Like if you're a fifth, you know what I mean, fifth round draft pick, and they sign you to a 4-year deal, they're not necessarily saying how much the money is. They seem to tell us what the money is when you're like Caleb Williams or the first like 10 guys that were drafted.
Right.
So
Yeah, this guy was a third round pick, so
I
probably
still think
11 million for 4 years or something like that.
yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
Still, that's you can't complain when you get out of college and make money like that.
No,
Let's see how the Mets do yesterday. Did they win again?
I don't know. No, they're on the All-Star break.
That's true. That's true. They don't start till this weekend. True, true, true. And we're one day away from Friday, and we do have the UFC on the 20th. With we do on Saturday night. We got the UFC.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know. It may have been while you were gone, but we were talking about I can't remember if he was just a boxer or a UFC guy. But his name was Ryan Garcia, and he was in trouble for I don't remember exactly what, but I read again today where he was arrested again for one misdemeanor count of vandalism for $400 or over in property destruction at the Waldorf Astoria in Beverly Hills. So he was supposed to be getting help, if I remember the story, and he apparently slipped off. I don't know.
One of the things that seems to follow. Oh, look! I think we got something coming up. Might have a video, or what do we got here?
Oh, but it's all burned.
Ah, there he is, Johnny Bench. Oh, look at that! He was in his prime. Johnny Bench looks like he's about 40. Maybe I wonder if he was. Didn't Johnny Bench also become wasn't he also a manager?
I don't think so.
Okay, Skunky wasn't. Okay, then maybe he was still in his playing days.
Yeah. He was not the head coach. I know he may have been hitting, or you know what I mean.
Yeah, hitting instructor.
Yeah,
and then I thought they just showed Pete Rose. Oh, that's Johnny Bench. That's cool stuff right there.
Can you not hear
Very
it?
cool stuff. No, we can't. No.
No.
So I was just going to talk with Johnny Bench. I had a great career here in Cincinnati. I appreciate it, guys. Too bad I didn't play like in the 2000s. I would have made a lot more money. Oh, look at this! Look at this! Gone.
He may not have been able to hit a 2000s fastball.
Oh, I'm telling you what. Yeah, you make a great point. No, seriously, they actually. I saw something where they were talking about that. There were pitchers that threw hard back then, but they didn't have all the specialty pitchers where you got a guy coming in the seventh inning, you got a guy who comes in the eighth inning, you got a guy who comes in the ninth inning. You know what I mean? Usually they had the starting pitcher. Usually went 8 innings, and then you had your closer. Now they got lefty against lefty. I've seen managers switch pitchers 4 times in one inning, left to left, right to right. Yeah, that wasn't a whole.
They're trying to win. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, there weren't. I'm just saying, back in the 70s, there weren't.
Yeah, dude, I've never heard of a closer until Mariano Rivera come along. Really,
and there were a lot of teams. Yeah, go ahead.
Back when I went to the Reds games and such, they had a starting pitcher and then the bullpen. And whoever come out of the bullpen was just a relief pitcher, nothing special. There was
These guys are so special. There are some pitchers that will pitch the 8th and 9th, but there are some pitchers that will not only pitch the ninth, but if they get a couple people on, they might even take him out because they're only able to throw 20 pitches. It's like, and that's all they do. And
Right.
you had Dennis Eckersley, who, as a starting pitcher, honestly, was not that good. With the Cubs, he used to get hammered, but he didn't get hammered till about the fifth or sixth inning. And I think Tony La Russa, still do, one of the best managers. I put him in the top 10. He watched Dennis Eckersley and he told the A's, he said, look, you know what he can do? He can get 3 outs because he is lights out the first 3 innings. But he starts once that, okay, you know what I mean? Once the batters see him again for a second time, they start picking up on his slider and stuff. He goes, how about we try him as a closer? You know, right now, Dennis Eckersley is considered one of the top 5 closers of all time. And
Yeah.
he was a starting pitcher for most of his career. Mariano Rivera, how about the opposite, though? You got guys coming out of college now that don't start at all. Even in college, they were a closer. They've been a closer since high school. And it's like, what?
Right. Yeah, that's what
when
he was.
when you and I were growing up, they were all starting pitchers that were turned into relievers. And
Right.
yeah, you didn't start you weren't an 18-year-old kid that was only a closer. What? That's right.
Yeah.
Massively changed.
So, but yeah, dude, I would guess Mariano Rivera is the best one of all time. I would think.
Could be. Dennis Eckersley's numbers in '89 were absolutely crazy, where he struck out, I think, like 170 people and walked 4. Come on.
Yeah.
But Mariano Rivera had a longer career. I think you could be right. I bet Goose Gossage has got to be in the top 10. Bert Blyleven, I don't know if you remember him. He was pretty good. The Pittsburgh Pirates had a sinker ball pitcher named Kent Jacoby. He
Yeah.
was a closer.
Yeah.
Then you got that guy. How about that guy that throws so freaking hard? I think he's still in the league. Chapman. He's with the Yankees now, I think. Throws like 108 miles an hour.
Right.
But the thing about baseball is when he throws that 108 mile an hour pitch right down the middle, 550 feet later.
Sometimes if you can catch it.
Huh?
If you can catch up with it to hit.
One of the hardest, there's some great stories that growing up in the Bay Area, this is a good one. Vida Blue, if that name sounds familiar, Vida Blue threw so hard that he broke Gene Tennis's hand catching a 105 mile an hour fastball. So Gene Tennis said, came out the next game when Vida Blue was pitching, and he had 3 batting gloves on. Because he said that he threw so hard that it basically hurt his hand every time he caught the ball.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, Vida threw hard.
That's pretty hard.
That's pretty hard.
He must have had wore out padding in his glove.
Yeah.
I would guess.
Now they got that. Go ahead.
I don't know. I watched a little bit of they now call it the Open rather than the British Open. And Shane Lowry leads that, but I don't remember his score. While Tiger Woods shot a 79. So
really?
Yeah.
Because didn't he why was he not in the other tournament? Because he didn't make the cut, right? Didn't the last time he was in he didn't make it because
he's no longer I don't know what you exempted into him or whatever it's called. Because he didn't play for a while and hasn't won, and they made some sort of special exemption for him to play in some of the golf, probably the majors.
I remember us talking about that now that you said that.
Yeah.
I do remember that. It's unfortunate that we really don't have too much exciting stuff going on because football is getting closer and closer, and that will be exciting.
The Houston Texans had their first full practice today, I saw.
And I believe that the rest of the league is chiming in soon. I think all teams have to report by July 30th, I think it is.
Yeah, probably so.
And then the first game is August 2nd is the Hall of Fame game.
The first.
The first?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, because that's a Thursday.
Thursday.
I should know. I get paid on the second. I know that well. That's a
Yeah.
Friday.
The first of 8, yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, you'll get to see all their new players, I would assume.
I thought C.J. Stroud was fantastic last year, and that's why Houston made the playoffs and everything. That boy from Ohio State. No offense, Justin Fields, but C.J. Stroud looks a lot better than Justin Fields does right now.
Well,
I thought Justin.
Number one, he was on a way better team.
Yeah.
And that the Texans got players to help him. The Bears just were shit, man. They did nothing.
Yeah,
So
they
now
were.
now they picked up a receiver or two and Caleb Williams, and I don't know why they think they're going to be so great. They still have no one to block that I'm aware of. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. And so much so, I think that if Justin Fields, and the rumor is that he will win the job, if he wins the job as the starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, then we're going to see how good Justin Fields is. Because Pittsburgh's got some players. They play defense. I mean, Pittsburgh missed the playoffs by only one game last year, and they had the worst quarterbacks you could possibly have. Randolph, that guy. You should know about him. Myles Garrett hit him over the head with the helmet. Remember that?
Right.
Yeah, the backup quarterback. Kenny Pickett.
They had Kenny Pickett last year for their quarterback.
Yeah, and then he got hurt. He got hurt near the end of the year, and they had to bring in Randolph. And so his competition is Russell Wilson. Hello. Russell Wilson. I don't know what happened to Russell Wilson.
I would imagine that Russell Wilson will start so they can see if he's going to be whatever he's going to be.
I don't know. I think he's gonna play in the preseason. Just the big difference though, Pittsburgh likes this because since Ben Roethlisberger retired, they'd like a quarterback that's got a little mobility. And Justin Fields has definitely got mobility.
Right.
So, hey, looks like we're approaching 420. So
yeah, I think they'll start Russell Westbrook. Shit.
Oh, it's funny you mentioned him. The Nuggets, I guess, are going to sign him. That's the talk today.
Yeah, I got that written down here on my paper.
Yeah. But anyway, you think Russell Wilson's going to start?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Justin Fields. We'll see how that goes.
Right.
Russell Wilson's mobility, I don't know where it went, but
they're going to have to find out. That's what I said.
I watched every Bronco game. I mean, that's the only game that's on TV here. I watched pretty much every Bronco game, and Russell Wilson, he looked bad. How did
the rest of the team look? Like
Denver?
Yeah.
They have some pretty darn good hey, I think we're going to a break. We're going to a break, Skunky.
phrase. I'm popping caps and back, listening to the guitar play. Lines of the coloring books inside my head, beyond the shadow of a doubt. I can't remember what the fuck I said. Ooh, but in the middle between the lines, smoke it rises to the top. I can't breathe, my brain is fried. I guess I'll cough until I stop. In a mental daze, down by the swamp where I was raised. I'm popping caps and back, listening to the guitar play. Yeah, the shade of blues unknown by a few. It rings inside of my head like they always do. Your pipe is filled, reality's killed. Yeah, everything still comes in twos, while everything will fall on you.
Great song. Happy 420, everybody.
Yeah, happy 420. Hey, dude, before we get going again, let me remind everyone that tomorrow night right here will be Crooked Coast with the hippie. Yeah.
You mentioned that. What time? What
9
time?
o'clock tomorrow night. Yep. You can also listen on the radio at WTHC. So, yeah.
Great. That sounds awesome. Right on.
Yeah. With that, dude, you can't. I don't think you can judge Russell Wilson playing on that shitty team.
Oh,
or
well,
any quarterback for that matter.
Agree to disagree, because no, actually, dude, he literally stood back there for 5-6 seconds. I'm telling you, that's enough time for almost any quarterback in the NFL to make a throw. Not only would he not throw the ball, but he stood there until he got sacked. He didn't run. He didn't do anything like he did in Seattle. He didn't throw the ball deep. And he's got Cortland Sutton. That guy is no joke. And who is the wide receiver Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy's a stud from Alabama. No, I was shocked how bad he was. The other thing that the announcers would say is, okay, even if you want to dog the play calling, like you're saying, you're Russell Wilson. What do? You make plays happen. He wasn't making plays happen. I mean, it's like there are quarterbacks in the league that, regardless of the coverage and stuff, they can still make a play. I thought they gave him ample time, and I was surprised that I was even shocked, because with the Seahawks, he was. But the kicker is, and I heard a sports guy say this. He goes, "Look, you know what should have been a red flag? Pete Carroll absolutely loves Russell Wilson. Why did he let him go so easily?" Very good question. He saw.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it was Russell Wilson wanted more than what Seattle wanted to pay him. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, and the fact that he got a 4-year, $240 million contract just blew people away. They were like, the Broncos paid that much for Russell Wilson?
Right.
And he didn't pan out. So, but if he makes the starting job for the Steelers, well, then I think we could all agree if he looks like he did with Denver, then that's Russell Wilson.
Depending on what the Steelers have on offense, yes.
Well, the Steelers are no question a better team than the Broncos because, like I said, they went 8-9 with Kenny Pickett and Randolph. I mean, that's
because of their defense.
Yeah, the Steelers are going to keep you in the game because of the defense. I agree. That's what I mean. That's why Russell Wilson won't even have to do much in order to possibly win games. You know, Kenny Pickett was able to win some games.
With that being said, he may be an all-star again there if he doesn't have to do much. You know what I'm saying? I personally just can't judge him on what he did with that crappy team in Denver. So,
yeah, and that's fine. It's hard to judge talent because one guy. It's hard to judge one guy. But the biggest thing I think, and they talk about, was he's lost that escapability. I remember when he played for the Seahawks that the other team would blitz, and all of a sudden you'd see number 2 like go in between these guys, roll out to the right, and make a throw. Now down. I think Russell Wilson was sacked, if not the most in the NFL. He was in the top 5 of how much he got sacked. Right. We watched the game. MJ and I watched the game where he got sacked 8 times. 8 times? Get rid of the freaking ball, dude.
That's a shitty line if he got sacked 8 times.
But here's the kicker. He's getting sacked after discount 6. He's getting sacked after sitting in the pocket for 6 seconds. You got to get rid of the ball.
Yeah, that one I would have to see, but I don't know. Ain't no quarterback gets 6 seconds nowadays.
Oh, you'll see him try. I mean, some quarterbacks. What Russell Wilson used to have the ability to do was just get rid of the ball. I don't understand why we have quarterbacks on 3rd and 10. Don't get rid of the ball. I agree with that. Why? Because you need to make a pass to get a first down. You got a 1st and 10, and you're sitting back there, and there's nobody open, and you get sacked. Throw the ball away. So it's 2nd and 10, not 2nd and 25 because you just got sacked. We have too many quarterbacks that don't get rid of the ball when they should. And you were saying about like Tom Brady. He would get if he was 3 seconds and that falls out. That falls out.
Tom Brady had a great team and a great receivers to do that too.
He did. Yeah. He did. But he also didn't hold on to the ball. I mean, I'm saying that's the thing I liked about Brady. He didn't hold it. Either did Peyton Manning. He didn't sack Manning very much, too. He would throw it out of bounds. Or you know what? That's not true. You know what Manning used to like to do? He used to throw it at your feet. That's what I was telling you. Yeah. Manning would just throw it right off your shoe. Just so that way you got a 2nd and 10 instead of 2nd and long.
Right. Or an interception.
Quarterback is the most scrutinized position, not only in football but in professional sports. If you ask me, they either give the quarterback too much credit or the opposite. Oh, they lost because of the quarterback. Defense gave up 38 points. No, we lost because of the quarterback. I don't know about that. So,
do you know how many points Denver gave up last year, by chance?
Well, you know what? They only had one game where it was ridiculous. That's why they gave up so many points. They actually lost. They lost to the Miami Dolphins. Yeah, go ahead.
Robert Pillow says, "Hey, Scott."
Oh, hey, Robert. What's going on? Does anybody remember when the Broncos lost to the Dolphins 70-20? The second most scored points in NFL history. The most were 74. I don't remember who got 74. But the Dolphins literally had the ball like on the Denver 8-yard line with 2 minutes left, and they just sat there. They could have scored another touchdown and had the most points. Right. So Denver gave up, but after that game, their defense wasn't that bad. But no, I watched. I mean, I really did. Even his running plays were off. What I remember about Russell Wilson with the Seahawks is he would do a play action where you swore that he handed the ball to the running back, but he didn't. You know what I mean? Or the opposite, where you swore he didn't. And when he was with Denver, he would literally hike the ball, turn around, and hand it off. What? Where's that little stuff you used to do? I mean, he just seemed like a different quarterback. So maybe it was Denver.
So that would tell me that's coaching if he's not doing the plays correctly.
Yeah, we'll see.
Then he needs to go out and put somebody in there who does.
But at 36 years old, I think Russell Wilson is best years are behind him.
We'll see. Absolutely.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
If he lights it up for the Steelers, then he lights it up for the Steelers. So.
Like you said, if he gets in the right system where he doesn't have to do much, who knows? Throw them little 8-yard passes and shit you hate.
Yeah. The little dink and dunk.
Right.
The little dink and dunk, but it's very successful. So
sure, it's essentially just a long handoff.
Basically.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I'm intrigued. That's not. There's a few teams that there are going to be guys fighting for starting positions at quarterback because there are even teams that, for example, the Atlanta Falcons got Kirk Cousins, but they also drafted. Who did they draft? Was it who got J.J. McCarthy? Was that the
Patriots? I think the Patriots.
Yes.
Hold on a second. It was the guy from. It was the kid from Washington.
Oh yeah, then I got it. Michael Penix Jr.
Yes,
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude,
that was.
He started at Indiana.
No, Michael Penix Jr. is a rookie. He played for He took Washington to the national championship, and they lost to Michigan.
Right, but he started his college career in Indiana, I believe.
Oh, wait a minute. Was he okay? You're talking about the transfer. What do they call it? The transfer portal.
Right. Yeah.
I think you could be right because I thought when I watched the championship, they said Michael Penix. This is like his 5th or 6th year, and I went, "That's odd." No, it's not odd because he played. That makes total sense. Okay.
Because
I think
here they show the Big Ten because of Ohio State. And that year they were talking about Indiana being a big deal, and they weren't.
Then they were.
That's how I know he was there.
I think that's going to be an intriguing. What is it? Okay, what is Atlanta going to do? Did they literally draft Penix to sit on the bench like Mahomes did when Mahomes watched Alex Smith? Maybe that's what they're going to do, where he's going to watch Kirk Cousins, or are they going to shake the world and literally have Penix start and Kirk Cousins be the backup? I don't think so. I think Cousins starts. You can't pay a guy 4 years and $180 million and then give your rookie $33 million. You got to start the guy you're paying out. You would think, right? You got to start the guy that you're paying the money for.
I think Scott, he had to, until he got hurt last year, he had the Vikings headed for the playoffs.
Yeah, I think they were like at 7-4 or something like that when he got hurt. I'll tell you though.
I don't know. We'll see.
This kid, Michael Penix Jr., though, I'm telling you, one thing I love about him, he's a lefty. Yeah, there's very few lefties. Wow, let me think. Do we have a left-handed quarterback at all in the league? Right now, I don't think we do.
Isn't that dude from the Dolphins? Isn't he one of them guys?
Thank you, Tua. Tua is lefty. Yeah, absolutely. His brother is not, and his brother, I think, just had his senior or is a junior at Maryland. Did you know that? Yeah, you did know that. Yeah. Plays for the Terrapins, and the reason I know that is because you know about Kenny Mayne. Do you ever watch SVP Scott Van Pelt?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, he went to Maryland, and he talks about all of it. He talks about it all the time.
Didn't he actually play basketball there?
I think he did. Yeah, I think he did. Yeah.
So
I was surprised. I was surprised to find out that Stephen A. Smith actually played sports. He played basketball in college. I was like, no way. I thought he was just a straight, sports guy who never played sports. He did. He actually did.
I would have never guessed that one.
Nope, me neither.
So, and like you said, that the Clippers traded Westbrook to the Jazz, who are going to do some kind of buyout deal, which will eventually get him to Denver.
Okay.
So I would assume whatever deal he makes with the Jazz, the Denver will take it over.
Yeah, and I believe since you said that did ring a bell because the Warriors, my team, Golden State's also involved with that because they don't want Westbrook. The Jazz got this stud guy from overseas named Markkanen, who averages like 25 points a game. The Warriors want him, but they want to work out some kind of three-way team deal. So they might get involved with something like that too. Because
Yeah. Hey, the Jazz get a kid named Chris Dunn for
hey,
Westbrook.
what is it? What does that say right there? It's something about the Vikings.
And got to draft Minnesota Vikings quarterback. Oh, J.J. McCarthy went to the Vikings. My
Went to the
bad.
Vikings. Oh, that's all right. So that makes total sense because Minnesota knew they were going to draft a quarterback. That's why Kirk Cousins is a Falcon.
Right.
Yeah,
And he tore his Achilles heel.
he did. He
Yeah,
did.
well, I think he'll start in Atlanta too, just to see. You know what I mean?
You can't pay a guy that much money and sit. I just can't. I know, I'm with you. I just can't see. I just can't
Yeah.
see Atlanta putting him on the bench. Um, Probably even in discussions with his contract, they probably said we're going to draft a quarterback. I can't tell you exactly who because we don't have a pick till the eighth pick or something like that. But what we want you to do, Kirk, is not only lead the team, but if you could pass some of your experience to the kid while he's on the bench. Yeah.
Right.
You're seeing teams do this a lot now, and I like it because it's tough to once a rookie quarterback goes from college and steps into the NFL, he's like, holy crap! I remember John Elway's like first half of his rookie season. Not only did not go well, but he threw like 5 interceptions in one game, and it was like he's getting sacked. And he said the same thing that Tim Tebow said. He goes, "Look, everything happens much faster.
Right.
I'll throw a ball that should be complete, and this guy comes out of nowhere and picks it off." He said, "Or the defensive line's so much quicker that I think I got a little bit of time, and they blow through the line and hit me." He goes, "Everything is so much quicker. If the receivers are moving quicker, everything is bang, bang, bang."
Right.
But it doesn't take long. Like, for example, Peyton Manning. I mean, our boy out of Tennessee, the Volunteers, seriously? It didn't take him long to figure it out. His brother, if you remember, Eli struggled more than Peyton did. Yeah.
Yeah. That one fan in Philadelphia yelled over at Eli. He was so stupid his parents only gave him 3 letters for a name. So, hey, while you're talking about that, let me tell you why I think Ohio State's quarterbacks never do good in the NFL.
Go ahead.
Because at Ohio State, they have such good receivers in a terrible league that are so wide open, anyone could throw to them. You know what I mean? And then when they get to the NFL, their receivers then are not that open. So it makes it a little tougher for them. So I blame the receivers. Yeah.
A word you hear a lot in the NFL, for example, that's why if Javonte isn't traded to the Jets, that's why he gets a lot of news. He's one of the guys that leads the league in what they like to call separation. And what that is how many yards are you ahead of the guy who's defending you? And Adams literally averages like 3 yards. That's a lot. It really is in the NFL. It's up to you're right. It's up to the wide receiver to get separated from the defender. So if that means that you're at the 42 and you're going to run to the 50 and you're going to dart left, you got to make it look like you're either going straight or you're going right. You cannot give them any kind of indication that you're going left. And some of those receivers are so good that they'll literally turn their head the right way and go left. Or and you see a lot. That's why a lot of guys like to use the visor so you can't see their eyes.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I would say probably the toughest position to play in football is cornerback or defensive back. Because number one, the guy you're guarding knows what he's doing and what's going on. You know what I mean? So
I do.
Now you've got to defend what he already knows is going to happen.
Yeah, and that's funny. There's a two-headed coin to that because there's also the opposite. To me, it's easier to react than it is to act. For example, you're the offense. You want to give the defense the impression you're going left. Well, the defense is going to wait till you do something and then react. So I hear coaches say all the time, defense should be consistent. You should never not be able to play defense. All you do is react to what they're doing. What's harder is to react. I'm sorry, all we're doing is reacting. What's harder is to act. That means you have to come up with new plays so the defense thinks you're doing something else when you're doing this. I think without a doubt, the hardest position is the quarterback. Not only do you have to learn the entire playbook, but you have to get all the players on board to believe in you as a quarterback. You need to be the manager. You need to be the leader. You're going to get all the blame if things don't go well. I think being a quarterback is extremely tough. But I'm not disagreeing with you because the defensive back, the other scary thing that makes that position hard is the cornerbacks are depending on you to get a guy that if he gets by him. You're the last line of defense. Like I tried free safety. Strong safety plays in front of the free safety. The free safety is the last guy. Your job is whoever's coming with that ball, he can't get by you because you're the last guy. You're the last guy. So there's a lot of pressure on. I would say there's more pressure on the defensive secondary than the defensive line. I think you're right because have you seen the Raiders are so bad, missed tackles. I get so annoyed when a guy goes 80 yards, but 9 guys had a chance to tackle him. Come on, you got to make a tackle. It's the little things in the NFL though.
So did the Raiders fix that problem in the draft, or are they still going to be that way?
They fixed the problem the last 9 games of the year. The Raiders went from giving this blows me away. The Raiders never the entire year gave up a play more than 20 yards. Wow. I mean, the Raiders last year would give up 80 yards, but they're not giving up the big play as much. The defense is really coming together, and that makes all the difference in the world. That's why I got the Jets. The reason I got the Jets winning the AFC East is simple because they're going to play better defense than anybody in their division.
Yeah,
the Jets play defense. I mean, if they can get a quarterback, and they have one, if they can get some points on the board, man, they lost some games last year, like 14-7. What? No, you got to score at least 17 points a game, and I think with Aaron Rodgers, you're not going to see scores like that. You're not going to see 14-10. He'll put up numbers, and if they get Devontae Adams, they'll definitely put up numbers. So, I like the Jets.
I think if they get ahead far enough, they'll take Rodgers out a lot. I think that. I don't know.
That's not unheard of. Do you remember?
At the start of the year.
Do you remember who did that a lot, and so much so that Matt Castle actually was considered a decent quarterback? Matt Castle was the backup for Brady, and if they were up by 30 points, he was playing the fourth quarter. You're right. They put in Castle a lot.
They absolutely should, but they never will. The Jets should absolutely sit him as often as they can, but they never.
And I like what Hippie just said, what he ended up with. Yeah, they might think they're going to do that, but they won't do that. Rodgers will probably stay in.
I think they will. I've not heard that. I would. Hell, if we're up by 3 touchdowns with that defense, I'd absolutely take him out.
It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense.
Especially at the start of the year, because he's still not really been out long enough for an Achilles tendon to heal.
All the way? Yeah, I know.
Right. So, I don't know.
It just doesn't make any sense. And you see it all the time. These guys play the whole game. Now, then turn around and watch the NBA. If you're down by 24 points in the fourth quarter, you see a timeout. They take all the starters out and put in all that bench because we're down by 20. We're down by 24 with 8 minutes left. There's no way we're coming back. The same thing they should do in football. If you are down 40-10 in the fourth quarter, why are your starters in the game? Why are any of your starters in the game?
Well, number one, that's why you pay them.
Yeah, but you're down 40-10. Unless you're gonna, and there's 5 minutes left in the game. Like Hippie was saying, why is Aaron Rodgers out there? He should be on the bench. Plus the other thing the mistake I think that teams do, if you have a backup quarterback, the backup quarterback is extremely important because if your boy goes down, he's coming in. Are you really going to let him just sit on the bench and be rusty as hell and not play any part just because the score is too close or they just don't want to play the kid? Well, then the kid doesn't get any actual real playing time.
Well, it seems, that seems to be what they do. They don't ever take the starters out.
They really don't.
And really, dude, it's not very often there's a terrible blowout in the NFL anymore.
Not like it used to be, but yeah,
not like it used to be. That's because everybody whines and cries because they run the score up.
Yeah. The Broncos were upset that the Dolphins ran up the score, and the reason I laughed at that, I go, really? They could have scored again at the end, and they literally just got like 3 penalties of a delay a game on purpose. So that's not running the score up.
Yeah, I don't understand that, dude. You guys got to be better, or then that wouldn't happen. God dang! What are you supposed to tell your team?
Oh, check it out! Hey, everybody needs a trophy. If some people in this country had their way, that's exactly what would happen. How dare you have a winner and loser? That's what sports is all about. You have to have a winner and you have to have a loser. And the reason that works is because losing sucks. So it makes you try to get better so you could be a winner too. If we just gave out trophies, then why on earth would you ever try to get better? You still get a trophy regardless of what the score is. Not this guy.
Right.
Had a friend who went to a little league baseball game and they don't even keep score. You don't keep score.
Yep. Dude, I don't know. That's about all I've got. I've got Michigan Stadium was ranked the 3rd best in college football.
Who?
Michigan.
I believe like Ohio State isn't the big house. Okay, Ohio State's called the big house, or is that Michigan?
That's Michigan.
Okay, I believe that place holds 100,000 at least.
Almost 104. Yeah.
And I think Ohio State's got a pretty huge stadium too.
Yeah, they're only somewhere around 93, something like that.
Only around 93.
Yeah.
And Michigan,
anyway,
big blue.
Number 2 was LSU, and number 1 was the Rose Bowl.
Where USC plays. Yeah, it's funny. I been to the LA Coliseum numerous times because the Raiders moved to LA and that's where they played. You know, even growing up in California and living in Southern California, I've never been to the Rose Bowl. Because I was too young, and when I moved up north, they also have rock concerts at the Rose Bowl. So I'm sure there would have been a time where I would have been to the Rose Bowl to see a concert.
Right.
But when I was living in Southern California, I was 2 years old, so I wasn't into rock and roll yet.
Right.
I wasn't into a lot of things at 2 years old, you know? I stuck my thumb a lot.
Nice. Yeah.
I had an oral fixation, if you will. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. On that note. Well, we still got a few minutes, so let's see. You want to okay, so since you live in Ohio, what are they talking about your Browns and Bengals and stuff? What are you hearing?
The only thing I've really heard is about Nick Chubb coming back.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so they're going to see how that goes. And the Bengals, I don't know. They got a weird owner. That Mike Brown's a weird owner, man. He doesn't do shit kind of like everyone else. I don't know. Joe Burrows is saying they're going to be great.
Well, and Joe Burrow also said he doesn't know if he's going to play for Cincinnati his whole career. I don't know. I mean, dude, they went to the Super Bowl and lost to oh my gosh, who beat them? Because remember they beat the Chiefs in the AFC Championship, and they went to the Super Bowl and lost. Why do I think the Rams? Was it the Rams?
I don't. It might have been.
I think it was the Rams. Great receivers: T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. What a stud! Dylan at running back. Hendrickson, defensive line from Michigan. But last year, what happened? I mean, the Bengals went from I think like 12-5 to last year they were like under 500. And then that was like, what happened? So I don't know.
Joe Burrows was hurt.
Yeah, and I think since you're from Ohio, I think that they think Cleveland's going to be better than Cincinnati, right? They're more because the Browns were in the playoffs last year.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they went to Houston.
All right.
They went to Houston and got beat up in Houston. Oh, we could talk about too. Hey, my boy. A lot of people, I don't know about this, but a lot of people say the Raiders made a mistake in letting Josh Jacobs go. You know, the running back. He did lead the league in rushing like 3 years ago, but the last 2 years, injury problems. Anyway, they think that the Packers are going to be pretty good. Since the Packers were good enough to make the playoffs and smoke Dallas in the wild card game, they think with Josh Jacobs and Jordan Love improving every year that they're going to be pretty good. What do you think of Jordan Love? You like him?
I think he's going to be great this year.
And what they lacked, if you remember, what they lacked was because remember they called it when help me out when Aaron Rodgers was the quarterback. Their what was their running back's name? Can't remember.
He was number 27. I can't remember either.
I know I can't either. But anyway, they're saying that and he didn't have a good year even last year with the Packers, even though they made the playoffs. But even Aaron Rodgers chimed in and said, with Josh Jacobs, they're going to be a better team. Well, what do we got here? Got cheerleaders?
It's probably the Olympic team.
Oh, the Olympic team? Well, yeah, that's how good I can see. I see some red, white, and blue.
Right. I don't know what that was.
Is that what's her name? The gymnast?
Simone Biles.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is that who that is? Oh, that's nice.
Huh.
That's nice. Nice. Very nice.
I wonder what it costs to be in the Olympics.
I don't know.
Good grief. Man, that was about 8 uniforms for 4 events. On what they do. I'm not a... Who's that, Gary Busey?
Yeah, I can't see from the eyes.
Gary Busey to me. I don't know who it was.
Yeah, Gary Busey. You know what that reminds me of? Please tell me you guys at some time in your lifetime have seen the mugshot of Nick Nolte. Because I'll bet all you have to do is ask your phone, hey, can I see the mugshot of Nick Nolte? Dude, he's wearing this Hawaiian. You've seen it. They said the cops said when they pulled him up, dude, he blew like a 3.8, 4.0. You could be considered comatose. But I always thought those two looked a lot alike. Just kind of like, remember Steve McQueen and Robert Redford?
Yeah.
When Redford, yeah.
Yeah.
How about this one? Gerard Butler and Russell Crowe.
I don't know who the first one is.
Gerard Butler's in Olympus Has Fallen. You ever seen that?
Yeah.
Okay. With the beard, you look at it, kind of looks like Russell Crowe.
Oh.
But I got to tell you, growing up, I remember watching TV and saying, oh, hey, Robert Redford's on TV. And my dad goes, no, he's not. That's Steve McQueen. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Oh, dude, also in Cleveland, they're talking about Myles Garrett.
Oh, I love him. But anyway, what about him?
Being the best defensive lineman in the league.
Number 95.
Yep.
Yeah, well, and I love it. And when they asked Myles Garrett, he goes, so you think you're the best? He goes, I do. But I think Max Crosby is right behind me. That's the guy from the Raiders, number 98. I don't know if you watched the Raider game, dude, but this guy reminds people of Mike. He not only does he not sit still, but he can't. When the balls he is moving the entire time. He is moving, he is talking, and everybody in the league says this guy's got a motor like Mike Singletary. He's got a motor like Ronnie Lott. He's got a motor like he just goes. If the Raiders would have got Myles Garrett, oh God.
Right.
I love him. I think Myles Garrett is great, and he doesn't have a whole lot of help, kind of like Max Crosby for a while. He is the best lineman on the Browns, and he's probably He's right up there. That guy Micah Parsons, he's a stud for the Cowboys. He's up there.
He's not good against the run.
Who, Parsons?
He's a pass rusher. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And the thing about Parsons, I agree. He's too small. What Parsons does, he does a little spin move when the ball's high, and he gets by the slow offensive lineman. But what he can't do, he's not big, so the running back runs right over him. No offense, but I mean, he doesn't stop the run. You're right. Miles Garrett does both. So does Max Crosby. So does the guy we just got, Christopher Wilkinson from the Dolphins, was third in the league at stopping the run. If you're tall and slender, even one of my favorite, Howie Long wasn't that good at stopping the run compared to rushing the quarterback because he wasn't fast enough to. Miles Garrett really impresses me because for a big guy, he's quick, and you have to be to stop the run. Because it's one thing to get the quarterback, but it's quite another to be running at the quarterback, suddenly stop, and back up a little bit and dive at a running back. He can do that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, I think we did pretty good, dude, with not much really to talk about. We did fill the hour. I think
that depends on the rest of your defense, man. It's a whole team, you know what I mean. If they take them back to you, you're going to get every tackle.
Yep. And it's funny, we go from this to where we are going to be so freaking busy once even September comes around because we have college football and the NFL. There's going to be so much football. It's going to be crazy.
So
I'm excited.
If you had to pick now, who would you pick to win the national championship?
Ooh. Oh, boy. I like Ohio State. Michigan got a new coach. I don't know. I like TCU. Alabama's always going to be in the running every year. Doesn't matter, it seems like. I'll make a better. I need to see about recruits and stuff and see who people got and stuff. And
Ohio State's got a quarterback who hasn't played but very limited, so that puts them out. And Michigan's coached half of their games last year because what's his name was suspended. So I don't know. I would probably pick Georgia or LSU.
Georgia was a good call right there. Now Georgia's lost some seniors though, including Stetson Bennett. I thought he was a stud, and he did make the NFL, but they don't even think he's going to start. It's just amazing to me how guys look so good in college. They're like,
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
So what I'm going to do is college football usually comes out with what's called the pre-poll, and they rank guys before they've even done anything, and that would help me out because that means they've done research on the guys that they got and stuff, and so we'll see on that. But I don't know. You know what? USC's got apparently a kid that's taken over for Caleb Williams that might be pretty good. A lot of teams. I'm hearing the music, so you know what that means, buddy. Hey, you guys, we always appreciate you tuning in with us. Love you guys. We're going to do this again tomorrow because it's finally Friday.
Right.
We're going to Sports Report with Scott and Skunky.
Friday night, Crooked Coast at 9 o'clock right here in this spot.
Tomorrow night, be there.
For sure.
All right, love you guys.
Peace.
Peace.